For the Life of Laetitia by Merle Hodge. Chapter 1. When we set out down the trace that morning, I wasn't feeling too joyful. It was very strange to be going down Suklal Trace in a motorcar. People stopped whatever they were doing in their yards and peered at us. Some were taking water from their barrels at the side of the road, washing clothes or bathing. Some waved or looked puzzled when they recognized me. The car was old, and it made a lot of noise over the bumps and holes in the road. The worst part was that my father kept trying to make conversation with me above the noise. "So you like plenty books, eh? Well, we will see what we can do. I have 1 or 2 books myself, you know." He was very impressed with the box of books I had put into the car along with the suitcase. "I like a little reading now and then, you know. Although I wasn't so bright as you, I didn't get picked to go to secondary school. I only make it to 7th standard. He kept turning his head to grin at me, and I thought that sooner or later he would run into somebody's barrel. Suklal Trace had never seemed so long, even though I was traveling in a car. It seemed much longer than when I walked out on mornings with the other school children, or when I got a bumpy ride on the bar of Uncle Leroy's bike. "I tell your brother," I say. "Well, you see what your sister do? She come and she pass her exam for secondary school. Well, you know what you have to do now. You can't let the girls beat you." And with this, he laughed from down in his belly, glancing at me again and again to see if I was enjoying the joke. He was still laughing when he passed Miss Adeline going down the road with the baby. The boy was all dressed up, and I knew she was taking him to the clinic in La Puerta for his regular checkup. She heard the car coming and put out her hand to beg for a lift. When she realized we were not going to stop, she paused to shift the baby over to the shoulder where the bag was, and the bag over to the other shoulder. I couldn't even wave at her. I wanted to sink down into the car seat. I would imagine Miss Adeline making her own way down the trace, changing around the baby and the bulging bag several times before she got to the main road. There she would wait in the shade of Rampy's shop for a bus, maybe give up after an hour and pay the taxi fare to Junction. Then in Junction, wait again for a bus to La Puerta, and we were going to La Puerta. "But your Auntie Velma will help you with your lesson." "Yes, man. She is the one in the family with education. She was a high school girl too, you know." He glanced over at me again and looked back just in time to swerve away from Mr. Popo's dog, sunning itself in the middle of the trace. He cursed the dog under his breath, then put on his smile again. "Yes, man. She just waiting to measure you up for your uniform." This brightened me a little. I began to feel excited about school again. The government secondary school was the biggest and most modern thing in La Puerta. I used to look at it with awe when I went with Ma and Carlyle to sell the cocoa. It was not one building, but several, and all of them 2 stories high. I looked at the students with awe too. The way they took over the streets in their plaid uniforms, talking and laughing gaily, as if they owned the town. And now I had been given a place at this school. My name was right there in the newspapers among all the other children who had passed the common entrance examination. Johnson, Laetitia, Christina. It was a Sunday, and Uncle Jamesy was home for the day with Tanty Monica and the children. Pappy right away sent Uncle Leroy out the road to knock on Rampy's side door for a bottle of rum and some sweet drinks. I would be the first one ever, the first one in the family to go to secondary school. Pappy made speech after speech about the new and blessed day that was dawning in the land. The celebration went on until Uncle Jameson realized that darkness would catch them walking out the trace if they didn't leave in a hurry. By then, even Ma was tipsy, dancing with us one by one. 2 days later, my father appeared, out of the blue. He, too, was bursting with pride.